Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of On the Spot. What's up, everybody on the chat? What's up, Jack? What's up, Frank? What's up, Arif? Good to see you, Lucas. V, what's up, man? Good to see you again. Jack, thank you so much for being out there as well. What's up, everybody? What's up? Good to see you. I'm so happy to be here with you guys in a brand new day, brand new episode of On the Spot. Victor, what's up, Coach? Good to see you, man. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Umakarum? Is that how you say it? That's a hard name to say. I've been struggling this whole time that I've been doing streams with saying people's names. So I'm sorry about that. I hope you guys forgive me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Bree, what's up? It's good to see you again. Thank you for being here today. Another stream that we're doing together. Man, I'm so happy that you guys keep joining me on Wednesdays to hang out, to create something together. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Also, spam your country, whatever you're listening, watching from. I would love to know where you guys are at. Thank you, Jack, for the feedback. Another On the Spot, and coming to you guys from my house. This is where I do the streams, and just another Wednesday. I'm excited to be here because today we're going to be looking at some techniques, some tips, some things that we can do together, and see what we can create together. Honestly, today I have a couple photos that we can go off of and edit something together. And I'm going to give you guys some tips on how I generally do my style that I do on my Instagram. So I like to explore a lot, and I'll go into it in a second and show you kind of what I do on my Instagram. And then I want to explain to you guys what I'm, kind of what my process is and all of that. So I'm excited to do that. What's up? Long time watcher, first time in the chat. What's up, man? Thank you for joining the chat. The chat's where it's at. You got to be in the chat to kind of like, get a sense of what's going on. I love getting feedback from the chat, and I enjoy talking to you guys. So I'm super thankful that you decided to join the chat today. I positioned my camera today up here, so I'm looking down here at the chat, so you guys know what I'm looking at. What's up from Austin, Texas? We're really close, Jessica. I am in Dallas, Texas, in the U.S. It's kind of like the middle of the U.S. for those of you guys that are not from the U.S. It's kind of in the center of the U.S., south a little bit. And, I've been in Texas for a while, but I'm originally from Cuba, and that's why my accent sounds like this. And I moved to Dallas, Texas about 15 years ago or so. Next week is my last episode on doing Adobe Lives. I don't know if we're going to continue or not. I'm not sure. It's scheduled to be the last one. So I'll maybe talk about a little bit of my story next episode and kind of explain a little bit to you guys. So Bangladesh, Arif is from Bangladesh. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Bangladesh, what time's in Bangladesh right now? Like 11 p.m.? Something like that? It's pretty late out there, huh? You've been considering to moving to downtown Dallas or Dallas in general, Jessica? It's a great place to be in. I tell you that much. Austin is amazing too. Bree says no. I don't know what you're saying no to, Bree. It's a little quiet. Had to turn up the TV. Okay. Let me move the mic over here. By the way, I have to confess something, guys. You've seen my mic that I use all the time on the stream. I gotta confess that I actually use the little mic over here, you see it, instead of this big mic. And I do that because it's just a lot easier to set it up and do it. So if you guys can hear me okay, I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for lying to you all these episodes with this big mic without actually using it. But it's a good stand for my little mic. Okay, so I see Jack posted the Discord. Let me share my screen with that and show you guys kind of what that looks like. So this is the Discord. Make sure you join. You go to On the Spot over here on the left. And, every week we're going to be reviewing people's submissions and stuff like that. And we're going to be looking at what we did last week. It's a good community. I hope you guys join and submit stuff. If you're gonna submit something, you have a couple minutes before I go and start reviewing people's posters. So you got some time to do that. Arif, it's 12 a.m. in Bangladesh. Thank you for being here. It's pretty late for you. I missed Design Challenge. I will try to do it in 45 minutes during the stream. V, that would be amazing. If you can post at the end of the show, I'll go back into the Discord to see if you posted. Okay, so last week I spin the wheel again, and we landed on Art Deco. Is this something that we do in the show where we get like a random wheel spin and of styles, and then we land on something, and whatever we land on is what we have to work with? And I landed on Art Deco. Well, I actually didn't. I landed on something else. I can't remember what it was. And then we decided to spin again. Oh, Synthwave. And I didn't want to do that because I've done so much synthwave in the past that I did not want to do that. So I decided to do it again. And I landed on Art Deco. And then I attempted to do something like this, which, you know, ended up looking like something like this. I wanted to capture kind of like the essence of Art Deco with all these different layers and things, and kind of like put it into like, you know, with this gold and blue accents. And we ran out of time. This is what I came up with. I wasn't super happy with it, but it, you know, it's not that bad. Frank said that he was busy or lazy to post last week. That's totally fine, totally understandable. Frank is always submitting great stuff, so we forgive you this time, Frank. It's all good. And then we had a couple submissions. Saparam like updated their poster to be a little bit more centered. That's the feedback that we gave them last time. In like, you know, positioning the poster a little bit more centered in the frame. So they did that, and you know, I think it looks great. We have this new submission from Fluffy today. What's up, Penny? Good to see you in the chat. Welcome. We have two chats for those who don't know. Sometimes I mention things that are on the YouTube chat, and then sometimes I mention things that are on the Behance chat. So if you guys are like, oh, what is he talking about? I'm looking at both chats right here on my screen. Okay, so we have this great submission by Fluffy. Kind of like a little bit of like what are the robots that have this kind of look? Mecha, right? It kind of looks like that with a really cool like light effect. And I see that you did like the motion effect inside of the like vector lines only, which is really cool. I really enjoy also the light in it. I would say, you know, it's like it's breaking a little bit with the pixels here. So I would, you know, say be careful with some of that. I know a lot of the people that are submitting things here are doing the challenge as quickly as I'm doing it in the show, and sometimes you cannot get it perfect. So here we get the negative of the same poster. Great job as always, Frank, on these. I mean, Fluffy on these. It's pretty cool. We have another one here. This person used so 2 episodes ago, we walked through how to do a liquefied effect and kind of breaking it down and playing with it. And this person just did that, which is pretty cool. V, Jack is giving you a way out to say you don't have to make it today. You can just submit it later. Yes, absolutely. You can do that. But if you want to challenge yourself, I would invite you to do that as well. V is a good friend of mine, Jack, and we're always DMing on Instagram. By the way, I'll go into my Instagram in a second, but if you guys follow me there, send me stuff that you're working on. I'd love to take a look at it and do a conversation with you guys as well. Sometimes I'm busy and I don't look at my DMs, but I would love to, have as much conversation as possible. I also have a group there. And also here on Discord, please join the Discord, join the On The Spot show, and then we can talk here a lot. Okay, we have Arif. Arif is great. He's always submitting every week. I really appreciate it. And he landed on mixed media, and he attempted to do like a mixed media exploration here, where he's mixing a lot of these textures with this face and looking for a way to kind of incorporate both of those things together. Great job on this, Arif. I particularly love this one right here, where it just feels a little bit like it's going more into the face. I would say here, like the best thing that you can do is to create a mask. Normally what I do is that I create a mask and then I turn it black immediately, and then I paint on the mask white to start, bringing the stuff back. And if you do that, you can really make this start looking realistic in the face. Also, you can do distortion map, I think it's called, where you export the map of the face, so the black and white levels, and then make the image warp into that. That would be a good way to do it as well. Hello from New Orleans. What's up? I went there recently. I went to Florida and I passed by New Orleans, and it was my first time there, and it was really fun. I mean, it's a really pretty place. It reminded me of some parts of Cuba, and that was really cool. Arif, I see that you're also mixing the both images right here. This image is really cool. I think we talked also about a website that you can get free stock images from, and I think that's where that's from. And then we have Young that submitted this morning. He did a better attempt at what we were doing last week. He had a better result than I did, and I saw he posted this on Instagram, and it was really cool. So he was doing like the whole Art Deco thing with the layers. What do you guys think about this one? It's pretty cool. I think it's a 9 out of 10 in my book. I love how this effect is playing into the face, how it's layering so well. He took a little bit of inspiration on what we were doing last week and executed super well. I love this, man. These hands here are beautiful. This reminds me a lot of the work that I was doing at the beginning of my career in Instagram. I was layering a lot of colors, beautiful stuff like this. Congratulations on this, Young. This is amazing. I really appreciate you submitting this. Nate, welcome to the chat. What's up? It's good to see you as well. These submissions are great, Young, and I encourage you to keep going and posting more. I see that you did a little bit of the motion blur here. You're doing a lot of saturation on the colors. It's really cool. I enjoyed that. I think, when I started doing posters on Instagram, I would do a crazy amount of colors. And I would always get people saying, hey, if you use a lot of colors in your work, you don't know what you're doing. But I enjoy doing stuff like that. So you're playing good with a certain extract of colors, which I think is the right answer. You're playing from like between the greens, blues, and purples, and even you're going into the yellows as well, the reds, but it's staying all in the same kind of world, so it works out. Everything's super bright, so I encourage you to keep going, exploring colors. Today we're going to do something really colorful, so I think it's going to be fun. And then you also submitted this one, which has one of my posters inside of the poster. The poster that's in here is one of my posters, and I see that you play with that a little bit. So this is dope work, man. Really, really cool. I like how you're layering things. I like how you're processing these, thinking through some of these things. Yeah, like I said before, all of my work is on my Instagram, guys. You probably know this already, but I post pretty often in there. All kinds of like explorations on work and just creating random things, ideas that I have, doing collaborations with other artists and friends of mine. So if you want to follow me there, I'm just having fun creating new things. Almost every day, at least 3 times a week, I'm posting work that I enjoy doing. So I would love for you guys to follow me there and to hang out there. All right. So today, what are we gonna do today? So I have this photo right here in Photoshop, and I thought it would be good to walk you guys through a little bit of how I normally do my style on Instagram, right? So when I mention my style, what I mean is like this colorful kind of thing right here that has a lot of different elements, a lot of different colors, and kind of walking you guys through my process to create something like that, and just creating a live today on the show, and hopefully we can finish it before the end of the show. We already 15 minutes in, and we've just been talking about people's work and having fun. So let's jump into that, and I'll walk you guys a little bit through how I'm doing that. Normally, so I've mentioned this multiple times, but I enjoy and love having a timer around. I said this in my first show and I keep saying it. When you have a timer, you are able to create faster, understand your limits as a creator, and then also know okay the how much time you need to finish something, to complete something. So I would highly encourage you guys, if you want to be a better designer, to have a timer, and go off of that. Cool. So V says that he has Photoshop open and the stream open, and he's just having fun. I love it. If you can submit it by the end before I go out, I'll look at what you created in the same time that we're creating this. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into Photoshop and kind of share a little bit of my process. We're going to be creating something similar to this a little bit today. If you guys are cool with that and like that, give me a thumbs up and we can keep going there. Cool, awesome. I have this beautiful photo that I generated using AI. I've said this on a few episodes ago, but I'm using AI a lot right now to create my initial images. It's a lot easier to get exactly what I have in mind that I want to create, and then also I'm able to do it in a somewhat quick way without having to go do a photo shoot and all of that. And when I'm doing stuff for my Instagram and just having fun with it, it's just the right thing to do right now. If I'm doing something for a client, normally we do photo shoot and all that. But AI for this kind of stuff is really good. Okay, so first thing I want to do is, I already did it, but I'm going to do it again so you guys can see the remove background. The new tool is so useful. It's so quick. These things used to take hours and hours and hours to get to get it this perfect, and it's just insane how good this gets it right now. The thing you have to do is that you have to change it to the cloud processing so that it does it using the cloud, right? So you want to make sure you do that. Thank you, Bree, for the thumbs up. Bree is always giving me great feedback. I really appreciate it. Who is it that always asks me to save things every week? There's somebody in the chat that's always telling me, save it. So I never save the work that I'm doing. In fact, I forgot to save last week's work. I just took a screenshot and I forgot to save it. But I can't remember if it's you, Bree, that tells me always to save it. I'm trying to remember who it is. But I really appreciate your feedback on the chat. I really do. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is remove. Like I said, man, like removing stuff nowadays is so easy. And then we have this image right here. Normally what I like to do is that I like to work on my composition just to make it as as final, quote unquote, as I wanted to make it, so that I know, okay, my poster is going to look this way, and then I start adding things to it, right? So this is the boring part of the creation. It's just like to establish what I'm doing as far as composition goes. And here I'm going to just add to the background here a little bit. I just want to make sure that I have like enough on this end that I can add to. And I think I'm gonna combine these two. I do a lot of wrong things on the stream because I'm trying to go fast. So I'm doing things like getting rid of the mask, doing stuff like that I normally wouldn't do, because I know there's no edit after this. Nobody's gonna call me and ask me to change anything. So it's just for me. So I'm trying to move fast on this. Where do you generate your images? Well, I do a combination between, I went through this on like 2-3 streams ago. I go to Firefly and I generate there using the different models that they have. And in fact, I think they added more today. So you can use like Luma or stuff like that inside of Firefly. I know you can use GPT right now. You can use Google. You can use all the things like that. And I went through how I do that, I think 2-3 episodes ago, right? So take a look at that and, give it a go if you have time. So yeah, that's how I do it. Hello, welcome to the chat, Charma. Okay, so I kind of have my initial kind of like figure here, and I like this. Next thing I normally do, I just go in with color. And then I would encourage you guys, if you are working on doing your own style, creating our own style, this is the best tip I can give you right now. I'm gonna give you a good tip, guys. So normally what you want to do is that you want to create somewhat of like either a mental library, or you want to create a like an artificial library that you can make here. So you can go to Adobe Library and create your own color palettes that you're using all the time, or you can create your own icons that you're using all the time. For example, this one's right here. I use this all the time on my work. So I have it here. I made it in Illustrator, and I have it ready to be used. Anytime I want to use it, I can just drop it in, right? So, come up with a few icons, come up with a few colors that you use all the time, and then you can just go in and make changes to it as you're creating, right? So I'm just, for the sake of like continuing my explanation, I'm gonna leave this in here as well. And you can, I know the colors that I use by heart, right? So I know this is normally my red that I use. Normally my blue is somewhere around here. And this is just because of like, I have that library in my brain, like already like recorded in my brain, right? But you can just use the library. Sometimes this gets in the middle of things, guys. I don't know if you've noticed. So I normally put it here, and I know I pin it down here. So now it won't move anymore. But for some reason, sometimes it still, changes when you open Photoshop again. So that's a tip there that you guys can use. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is that I normally just go in and add a bunch of colors to the subject, bunch of textures. So let me explain how I'm doing that real quick. So normally I just do soft brush, really big, and I just go at it with it. But just doing a big brush and adding color, There's nothing special to it. There's no magic trick. There's nothing like that. I'm just, going for it. Kazi, what's up? Welcome to the chat. How you doing? And if you guys are, watching me do this and you have questions, or you're like, hey, how do you come up with that? How do you do this or that? Drop it in the chat. I would love to see it. I would love to answer it for you guys. So yeah, let me continue here to add stuff in here. I don't know if I want to add green. For the longest time, I never used green. And then recently, I've been using this green right here around this area. And that's, my green, the green that I use all the time. So yeah, it's just good to have a lot of different colors that you can use. I'm gonna go back to the red. And again, here, what I'm doing is that I'm filling it out, right? I'm like, what feels good, what looks good. And then I'm gonna add a lot more colors and a lot more, balance to this. Let me add some red here. Yeah, so I'm essentially painting on it. Excited to watch your previous episodes. Says Tammy, what's up, Tammy? Man, good to see you here. Tammy's a great creator and a good friend of mine, so I welcome you, Tammy. Thank you for being here, man, today. I really appreciate it. Today I'm just having fun here, creating something new, and just kind of showing how I do my process. So yeah, no questions so far for anybody. That's a good thing. I was explaining how, just having a library of work that you have and you can use every time is something that you really want to do. Now I have these brushes over here that are not fancy brushes at all. They're just like the normal brushes that Photoshop has. I had a couple other ones before, and I don't know where I put them. I'm horrible with like keeping track of like my brushes and stuff. That's a new goal that I have. But I have this brush right here that I like using, and then I do the same thing. I just put it down here. Me and my son are watching. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have 2 kids too, guys, if you guys don't know. And I really, I'm teaching one of my kids design, and it's just great to see your kids doing stuff that you love to do and teaching them how to do it. Shout out to all the parents out there. It's hard to be a creative and be a parent at the same time, because it takes a lot of energy to be a good dad, and also it takes a lot of energy to be a good creator. So you have to sometimes stretch yourself a little bit. Okay, you saw this line that I did here. Pretty, like, kind of random line. I'm doing everything with my mouse right now. This would be better if I do it with a Wacom, but I'm just doing it with my mouse. You can just do it with your mouse too. and I'm doing these lines over here that are going through, and I'm just going to be selecting them now. This is something that I do a lot of, so I'll show you kind of what it is. Sorry I'm late. Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you for being here, Apurva, and it's great to see you. You always are here every week, and I really appreciate you for taking the time to hang out with us. I'll show you another trick that I do to get like kind of these lines that I do on my work, is that I do a line like this one, and then I do a selection on it, and then I go and I modify the selection, and then I contract the selection, and I contract it by, let's do like 10 pixels, and then it does like this selection inside of the selection. And then on that one, I'm gonna do maybe let me do a blue or something. Do you create your own brushes? I do not create my own brushes now. I just, I found them online, whatever I can, and that's what I use. So it's, you know, I'm a pretty practical person. I try to find whatever's easiest for me and do that. And that's what I did here with my brushes. I found a few that I like, and I use them all the time. Okay, we're getting kind of this kind of like vibe over here. We can change this to dissolve to have a little bit more of this look, or we can just, on top of it, this is something that I like to do too, change the brush to dissolve and paint on top of it right here. There you go. It gives it more like a graffiti look, right? So I'm doing the same thing, just using my brush over here. Changed it to dissolve. It looks like graffiti a little bit, but it's just normal soft brush. Just a normal soft brush. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's part of the whole look, the whole effect. It's just to make it a little bit messy. If you end up applying any of these things to your work this week, and you're posting something on Instagram or you're sharing it with people, I'd love for you to tag me in it. I love to see it, and yeah, and I love for you to put it also on the Discord. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Put it on the Discord as well. Should be good. I think we need to change the background black to something different. So these lines right here. So we might just do another color on that. So we do a color overlay on those, and let's just see. If I just do a red maybe, or like something like this would be okay. And I'm gonna do the same again. Let me do modify contract. Now that we did this, I'm gonna do 5, and then I'm gonna do another layer on top of that. Cool. There it is. I'm not loving the harsh texture. Maybe we'll just leave it like this for now. I'm gonna drop this one on top. Yeah, so I'm just looking into like layering a lot of different things, and doing that. What's up, Ted? Welcome, bro. I watched that streams on Twitch on Fridays for about 2 hours. So if you guys can catch him there, he does a whole stream of 2 hours, like breaking down his process. He has beautiful work. If you guys don't know Ted, he's like one of the best ones out there. So I would definitely check out his process on Discord, on Twitch on Fridays. Pretty sick. So great to see you, Ted. Thank you for being here, bro. I really appreciate you. Okay, I want to show you guys something else that I normally have and keep around, and it's I normally, like I said before, I have different assets that I use all the time, and I have them all like in one place so I can grab them and use them. For today, I dropped a bunch of stuff in this right here to kind of be able to grab these and throw them inside of this document. I'm gonna grab this flower right here, and I'm gonna throw it in. I'm layering all of these things inside of the woman's body, so that's pretty easy there. I want to put these flowers on top. from here on, it's like it's just creating, right? So hopefully this is not too boring for you guys, and you guys are like, also like kind of having fun watching this, and it's a little bit more chill than other streams where we are breaking down or trying to create a style. I feel like this is more like, like we're just, in here layering things, having fun, and you guys are seeing some of the process. To be honest, sometimes when I'm creating, I get lost in on what I'm doing. So I'm trying to break down everything I do as I do it. But if I forget something, please like ask on the, ask on the chat. Hey, how did you do that last part? You didn't explain it. I'll be happy to. Okay, so these flowers that I have here, I created by just doing pen tool and drawing them here on Photoshop. So I'm just layering them here. I'm going to send this one to the back behind the model. I feel like that looks nice. And it's just adding a little bit more of, like composition wise, a little bit cool. Pen tool, yeah, pen tool. I made the flowers with pen tool here in Photoshop. Lucas, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Lucas says it's always a pleasure to see me work. I really appreciate that comment. Yeah, I've been, the last few weeks, I'm a little. I've been working a lot on different projects that I have going on, and I keep working on this secret project that I cannot discuss with you guys, but I'm dying to tell you about. So I will tell you about it soon when I'm allowed to say something about it. But on top of that, I keep opening this photo. I'm sorry, let me close it. I had another plan for today maybe, but I didn't feel like doing that one as much as this one, so I jumped on this. And I'm just layering these flowers that I had pre-made and that I've used in another design that I've had. I'm putting them here, layering them a little bit. And yeah, I think it's looking pretty cool. Starting to look busy down here, which is what we want. Do you share your PSD assets? We love to play with some of your designs. I normally don't do that. I haven't done that in this. If you guys would you guys like that? Is that something that you guys would appreciate if I send you guys some of my assets? I feel like it would be cool. When it comes to these particular assets that I have here, these are the assets that I'm normally using throughout my, my stuff that I post on my Instagram and all that. So, it's normally the stuff that has my kind of like my look, my signature look. So I'll be happy to share some of it. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. If you guys would like that. Dude, Luke, thank you for being here, man. Luke says it's good to be in on the stream. Velvet Spectrum. He's an amazing 3D artist. You're now working for Adobe, so thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Just so you know, Luke, and for everybody else that's new on the stream, we normally just jump in, create something cool together, try to finish something within an hour that is acceptable enough to maybe post or like to share it on the Discord, and then we try to encourage the people to do the same thing. So if you guys want to create some work, share it on the Discord. Discord is here in the chat. You guys can go ahead and do that. And we will review it normally at the beginning of the show. So we already reviewed today's stuff. But thank you for being here. Yeah, so you're part of the Adobe team. That's amazing. Look, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you being here, hanging out. Okay, so, this is somewhat looking kind of crazy, but at the same time, kind of looks cool. I don't know about this green. Maybe we can bump it down and see what that looks like. Sometimes I also layer colors and then go in and like kind of play with them a little bit more. That is something you can do. Also, this we can probably get rid of this black one down here. We'll see. Let me see. Maybe I can layer it a little bit. So yeah, just playing with some of these. And man, I have a funny story I gotta tell you about like something totally random, not related to graphic design at all. But I'm paying I'm paying a credit card that I have, and if you're not from the U.S., credit cards are pretty normal here. People normally have credit cards, and I've had this credit card for a while, and then I was trying to pay it off. And the problem is that I have a limit that I can do every day for the card that I was using to pay the credit card. And after I'm going into a random story. I'm so sorry, everybody. But as I was paying the credit card, I was calling literally every day because I had a limit on the card that I was using to pay to make payments. And as I was doing that, one day randomly they shut down my credit card and they wouldn't let me make payments. They wouldn't let me do anything to it. And I was like so confused. I was like, what's going on? So I talked to them. I talked to customer service for a long time to understand what happened. Why did they freeze my account? What was going on? Well, apparently they froze my account because somebody was making payments to the credit card every day, and that was like suspicious activity. So they told me they were afraid that somebody stole my card. I'm like, who steals somebody else's card and just pays for their credit card? That makes no sense. So yeah, that's something that really happened to me like last week or something. I'm like, how would you guys think that somebody stole my credit card and is paying it off? I'm like, steal my credit card every day, if that's what if that's what people that steal credit cards do. But I thought that was like so dumb. But anyways, maybe you guys have more experience with credit cards. But I'm like, why would they steal my credit card to just pay it off? It makes no sense. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the chat too much. I was just rambling about my story here. I've been a designer for 7 years, and I also do digital art, but currently I'm in an area with more info product. Do you have any tips for working with my art? I feel like I lost my, this like digital and art field. Well, as I was saying a little bit ago, it's like if you develop some like assets like the ones that I have that you use all the time, and you start developing that look slowly, I feel like that's a really good thing to have. Like, thinking of like what is the message that you want to share with people. Normally, what is like your vibe that you want to do through your art, and kind of bringing that to the front of what you're doing is something that I feel like everybody needs to be doing. If you're a creator, you need to be spending time creating stuff that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone and puts you out there a little bit more. So I would encourage you to do that. That's a tip that I have. Just force yourself to do something every day. That is just the best tip I can give you I can give anybody to get better at their art creation or digital art game. Just like force yourself to be out there. Try not to look at too many people's work so you don't get bothered by how good it is, quote unquote. I know people that get discouraged by other people's work because they feel like, oh, this is like, I'm not gonna be able to reach this level as far as I want to, or like they start comparing themselves. If that's you and you have that problem, try to step away from that and try to focus on yourself. So force yourself to create new things and you'll be good. Okay, I'm gonna do, hopefully everything that I'm doing makes sense. I know there's not a lot happening. It's just me drawing inside of things here. But hopefully this is helpful to you guys to see that there's really no like magic, anything happening on any work. It's just like, a lot of like layering, a lot of like posting things, doing stuff like this, hanging out. Feel a little rusty since I've been creating every day, but I'm excited to create something for the live stream this week. You're doing a live stream, look, that's nice. Tell us when it is, and we'll jump in there. First, the design Frank says this. He's reminded me of saving my design. I know how hard it can be when your cars go down. They'll shut them down for using it. Yeah, I'm like, You're going back to the credit card story. That makes no sense to me. Like, why would they shut down my credit card because I'm making payments? That makes no sense to me. Okay, so I feel like this is going in a good direction. I do want to add also a little bit of blue to the hair over here. Maybe let's do a darker blue first. Yep, and then let's do a brighter blue on top of that. That's cool. I like that. Cool. And now we could do a lot more layering on this, but I'm going to go ahead and do a background. I have this image that I had from last week. I posted something on my Instagram, and I kind of loved how this looks almost like it's encasing this thing. So I'm going to color range select over here, and I want to do something like this for the background. I feel like this could be super cool. There you go. Yeah, that's looking pretty sick. I want to expand it a little bit like this. Something else that I want to do, I want to delete the inside of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're almost done with the stream. I mean, not really. We have another 15 minutes or so. But you know, I want to give you a reminder that if you want to finish the challenge. So V at the beginning of the stream said that he wanted to create something at the same time that we're creating something. So hopefully he's gonna post it to the Discord. I'm gonna do another reminder for the Discord to go in here, guys. Every week at the beginning of the show, we review the work that people post. So, you know, make sure you post something here. V, that's awesome, bro. I knew you could do it. I knew you would be able to do it. I'm putting a lot of pressure on you to do this live right here, but I mean, you're amazing at your work, so I'm not too worried about you. Okay, so I'm doing this background over here. It's kind of chaotic and crazy. I'm trying to see if it plays well with what we're doing a little bit. I think it does. I want to stretch it a little bit more. And again, we're doing this for ourselves. We're having fun with it. Nobody's like, you know, this is not for a client. This is not for anybody. So we are allowed to just break the rules, have fun. I've said this in multiple other streams, but I make my screen super small sometimes when I'm working because I want to see how it looks like, what it looks like when somebody's looking at it from composition standpoint from afar, you know. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the best possible there to maximize kind of the impact that what people see when they look at it. So looks at that his stream is happening at 9 a.m. Pacific time with Paul this Friday. So if you guys are around, please join that stream. It's going to be sick. Luke is an amazing creator. Paul is an amazing guy. He's a good friend of mine, an amazing creator as well. So I'm going to be joining. So if you guys want to join too, let's you know, spam the chat, hang out, and have a good time on Friday with them. How are we feeling about this, guys? Are we liking this? Are we liking this so far? I'm somewhat like I like the background, but at the same time, it's like something here space-wise not working great. So I might just, you know, we'll see. Well, I'll see if I scratch this idea or keep going. Okay, let me go ahead and do a little bit more of color back here. Something like this. Okay. Just masking a little bit more. Maybe under this, we'll do something. Yeah. Not really loving these two colors right now. Maybe something more like this. I don't know. I'm hesitant about this. I thought it would be a great idea. I kind of liked it, but it's so busy. This thing. Something that I've been enjoying doing is like to go to pixelate a little bit. So the pixelate mosaic effect is pretty cool because you can like pixelate things big time like this. So I feel like that could be a good cool look for this pixelated background. Maybe the background has too much color. Maybe it has too much color. Yeah, maybe we can just flatten the background a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, lately I've been stepping away from like super like over the top colors. I'm saying that and look at my screen. It's like super over the top. But I've been, you know, stepping away from that a little bit more and trying to mix a little bit more like you know, muted colors with bright colors, doing like a combination like that there. That's not what I'm doing here at all. Like I still have a lot of colors, but just pointing that out, that sometimes when things are like this plus the front stuff, it's like hard to visualize what's happening. Also, Photoshop is getting this kind of like bug that you see a white line on the edge here. I don't know if you guys get that. Said I love the glitch effect in the background. Yeah, I think I'm liking it too. We'll see. See if we keep it or not. Let me see if I do something like this. Wait. Trying to see what I should do here in the background, just to expand a little bit more, like maybe do a color overlay here, a little bit more blue. Just playing with this right now. And then I have these spikes right here that I made. Again, I'm making this like using pen tool, either in Illustrator or here in Photoshop, where it's just like essentially just drawing them with the pen tool. I have a bunch of them here. I also have these layers that I have inside of these. They are pretty simple to make as well, with just doing a distortion on a lot of different colors. Yeah, that's layering nicely there. This one wouldn't be black at the end, obviously. It would have to be something different than black. But it's a good opportunity to layer more of the colors that we want. How are we feeling about this, guys? Marsha said I missed Friday too. Marsha, what's going on? Where have you been? Okay. I'm concentrating a little bit here to try to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes. Like usual, we get to the end of the stream and I'm like, oh, I gotta finish this. And then during the whole stream, I'm talking and having too much fun. But this is good. I mean, it's looking good. I feel like it needs more time. Like usual, it usually happens here in the stream, but I think it's a good concept. Just so you guys can see, you know, kind of what's going on my process of like creating these images that you guys see sometimes on my Instagram. And again, you can keep adding to the inner layer. Sometimes I add text as well in here. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to flip it to be this size. So Helvetica is, you know, I'm getting fed up with Helvetica a little bit, but at the same time, it's always a solid option. You know, I got fed up with it because everybody keeps using it everywhere. And here I am using it too. But I'm going to distort it a little bit right now. I'm going to do the glitch effect in it. So I'm doing the letters and then I'm doing the pixelated effect on the letters. So it won't look too much like Helvetica, right? I could see some glass effect here. What do you mean glass effect? Like oh, like on top of this? Or the glitch effect? No, glass. Hey, we have to look at Discord to see. Oh, V's work. Nice, V. Good job, man. So for you guys don't know, we started doing this at the same time we started doing our poster at the beginning of the stream, and he was able to do something really nice. So thumbs up, everybody in the chat who supports V for doing this. Great job, man. Appreciate it. I love how it looks like it's coming out of the eyes here. You did some lighting there. That's really nice. Good job, bro. Awesome, bro. I'm proud of you. This is amazing. This is pretty sick. I love it. Okay, let me go back to this. Try to finish it off a little bit here. Let me see. I like this. I want the silhouette to be a little bit more visible. This should be maybe a different color. Oh, it's inside of this. That's why it's not showing up. Maybe something like this. I do like it behind the stuff like that. Okay, I'm not gonna stress too much about it. There's so much more that we can do to this. Honestly, like usual, we do. We try to do as much as possible in 1 hour. And I just want to show you guys kind of like my process of creating this kind of work. Yeah, if you guys want to take this challenge, if you guys want to post something next week, I mean, we'll be reviewing again everything. Next week is our last. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, but next week is our last, stream before the summer break. Correct? So you tell me if I'm right or wrong about that, but I think I'm right. And then we're going to be taking a summer break of all the lives and all the things. But that's starting. So the next week we'll still have the show on Wednesday, and then after that we'll be taking a break. But stay put on the Discord. Send your stuff for next week. We'll still be reviewing that and still be looking at it. And I mean, we can go from there and see what happens. This is not a finished product by any means. It still feels like it needs a lot of work. But I feel like it's a good start on something that could take a lot more shape and be a little bit more exciting. Yeah, normally where I go from here is that I would do a final crop if I want to crop it a little bit. In this case, I think I do want to close it a little bit more. And I would, add some final touches here and there. For example, I think like we could do like a little bit of like a green or something. Yeah, Jack's confirming that next week is the final one before the summer break. So make sure you guys are here next week. My show, personally, I don't know if my show is going to continue after the summer break. So if you guys can make it next week, I'd love to hang out with you guys for last time. I feel like that would be super cool. And we can continue from there. I'm going to do a camera raw filter on this just to add a little bit more texture, color, whatever. Grain as well. I always like adding grain because it kind of fixes all the mistakes. And just to kind of finish something. Hopefully you guys learn something from this one, although it's pretty quickly and it's pretty messy. Hopefully you saw how I do some of the different things that I do, and you can create a better composite on your own for next time. Again, like I said, I feel like this is not clicking too much, at least for me right now. It's like It's getting there. It's getting there. You know what it needs? It would be cool. If it has like a reverse. Um, like if we grab some of these elements, let me do it real quick. I think we have a couple minutes here. So if we grab some of these elements and cut into it, I think that would be cool. You know, we mask into it. Let me group all of these and close it, and then kind of like eating into it, if that makes sense. Thank you, Ted. You know, I hope to see you here next week. Hope to see all of you guys here next week, and I hope to see your work on the Discord. Guys, don't miss on that. I need those submissions every week, man. I want to be like looking at new work, reviewing new work. I feel like that would be really cool. I feel like a look like this, where like this is cutting into the photo, would be really cool. Maybe that's what it needs. It needs a little bit more time, a little bit more love, a little bit more exploration here. But yeah, like I promise you guys every week, I'm gonna come in here and try to create something without having anything prepared. Today I knew I wanted to show you guys kind of like how I do my photos normally, and this is what we came up with. I feel like it's, you know, it's a cool effect, something that, you know, needs a little bit more work, but it's actually it's getting there, you know, it's getting there. So yeah, like I said, create your own library of things, getting there, and you know, create something amazing, put it on the Discord. I love you guys. It's good to see you. Bree, I'm gonna miss you guys too, but be here next week, okay? And we'll hang out, look at somebody's people's work next week, and hang out a little bit more. Thank you, Luke. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Friday on your stream. Thank you, V. Thank you for doing the challenge, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Have a great day.